Once interest rates drop, all that competition comes back. That's right. There's a lot of buzz out there right now about interest rates being too high, but actually, if you take a look at this historic chart, you'll see that rates are actually pretty average right now. It's just not that crazy low interest rate we saw during the pandemic. As a reminder, that was a very unique situation. When the global pandemic hit, it threatened to shut down our economy. When the Federal Reserve stepped in, they took measures to ensure that as best as they could. And some of those measures were dropping the Fed funds rate, purchasing mortgage-backed securities and treasuries. They were infusing into the economy money and liquidity. And that, in part, is why those home loan interest rates got as low as they did. But that was a point in time. And that cannot last forever for a variety of different reasons, one of which is inflation, which is now what we're facing because of the actions taken to get us through that pandemic and that time. It might feel like interest rates are high when you compare it to 2020 and 2021, but if you compare it to years prior to that, you'll see that interest rates are actually decent. If and when rates do drop, though, you can expect that all that competition in the market is going to come back. And what I mean by that is, it's a simple thing called supply and demand. Right now, there's less demand out there from a buyer standpoint. And because of that, we have seen sellers get much more flexible with the buyers that are wanting to buy. But it's really important to know that nationwide, there is still a shortage of homes out there for everybody that wants to buy. So once this thing turns and interest rates drop, I guarantee it that we're going to see much more activity. We're going to see the demand pick up, which means the ability to negotiate with sellers is going to lessen. What we're seeing right now today from a buyer standpoint is the ability to negotiate on price, sellers crediting buyers to help them with their closing cost or interest rate buy downs, and the availability now of having government loans be a thing. You know, when the market is crazy and it is a seller's market, there are so many people that are just pushed out of that market. They want to buy, but they can't buy because they can't compete. Well, today, a buyer can compete because of the nature of the market. Right now, it's a balanced market and probably even hinting towards a buyer's market in some areas around the country, which means that now is the time, before those interest rates drop, to get out there and buy the house, because the house is a long-term investment. Interest rates come and go throughout time. You can potentially refinance and drop that interest rate when rates do fall. But you can't go back to today's prices or today's environment with all of the flexibility that we are currently seeing buyers get with sellers. Once that's gone, it's gone. When rates drop and the demand comes back, guess what also comes back? What we just saw a year and two ago, which is now buyers are trying to compete with buyers that are paying cash. Now buyers are trying to compete with buyers that have the ability to waive their appraisal contingencies and waive their financing contingencies. This was the issue that nobody's talking about. A year ago, 2 years ago, we had so many buyers that were doing a low down payment that couldn't waive their appraisal contingencies. And guess what? Their ability to compete in that market, it didn't matter what the interest rate was, because they couldn't get their offer accepted. Today is a different day. If you're interested in seeing if you pre-qualify, we lend in 38 states and we're happy to do a quick consultation with you. There's no obligation. Just click the link below to speak with one of our amazing Kelly Zitlow team members to see if we can help. Stick around for my next video where I'm breaking down all the juicy details on how to get a mortgage. And oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe.